Hello everyone, TR2000 here, and I apologize for not uploading Friday. It was a busy day, I'll say. So to make up for it, I'll be doing the 3 root engines. Now, 2 of these are fan known. The other one is my own creation. We'll start off with my own creation first, 17763. I will be moving these 2 out of the way. They will be returning. But right now, let's focus on the tank engine. So this engine is a 280. For me, he was a tender engine. And he was converted to a tank engine during the First World War. Now, this engine is an ROD engine. My story with him is, during the war, they needed a heavy shunter. And due to issues that he was causing, they converted him over the others. Hence why he is no longer a tender engine and a tank engine. For me, he arrives to Sodor before, after Thomas, but before, I would say before Gordon. Maybe, I haven't decided if he's before or after Henry. But with him, he is on loan for a very short time before causing problems, returns once, and then he is preserved. With this custom, it was an easy job. I took a width and a flatbed. I removed the smoke box. I cut a little piece off the flatbed. That's this in forward is flatbed. Took a wheel off a push-along Emily, extended the wheels in the front, extended the boiler, and put a wooden railway Oliver face, an older one on it. In fact, that face is part of the Oliver I used to make Stepney. Now with him, fairly simple green with a little bit of red lining and some gray windows. Not a whole lot to say. He is a arrogant, rude engine. You know, typical villain. I really only use him once or twice as a visitor after dieselization. So, next we'll be going on to our next engine. 87546. So with some people, they have him as a B class. I forget the specific B type, but for me, he is an Atlantic. Him and 98462 arrived after Henry. The Pack Controller received Henry and ordered 2 more engines, saying that Henry was not the engine he had wanted. So 87546 arrived to take the Express. He is a LNER C4. Now, he is not a regular C4. I've always liked the idea of Sodor receiving the prototypes, so I had him be the prototype for the class. Much like 98462 is a prototype. Like Gordon, Henry, for me, Thomas, James, Percy, prototypes, you know. So with him, I took a 60-year Henry, and I removed the back wheel, and put a push-along Thomas wheel. The front I took from a different model, sorry for that noise. Put 2 push-along Thomas wheels. I put a wooden railway Oliver face, an older one, so that way they'd have different face features, but, you know, similar. For the smoke box, this is part of a Salty. If you ever need, like, a large smoke box, Salty is a good model to use for that smoke box, because it's not as big as the cab, but he's close. So I would highly recommend. Alright. using a bit from a Salty. Now, here is what the C4 looks like. So I'm sure you can spot some differences. There's no wheel arches. The cab is a little different. But, you know, I wanted him to be different than the other C4s. Like I said, he is the prototype. So, turned off the Sodor. He was sent away for causing trouble and scrapped. Simple. This is from a wooden Salty. I've said that already though. Tender, just repaint. He is a fairly simple model. Now on to the other engine that no one really likes. Engine-wise. Community likes him. 98462. With him, people go B12 if I'm correct. I don't really know the Bs. I'm not a big fan of the 460 wheel arrangements. Everyone just uses them. It's like, So, sorry. For me, he's not a B12. He is a B16, another prototype. A few distinct features. I give him a bigger cab with an open window in the back. Well, a half window. I gave him a Scania tender. I guess you could call it. I'm not a fan of those tenders. But then again, I never intended to make these engines. So here is what the B16 looks like. There are several different features, different from this engine, but it's not terrible. I use a similar feature I do with the others, but he does show a standard tapered boiler, so, you know, push along Thomas wheels. I removed the front one off of a Gordon, so I saved the Gordon smoke box for something else, and that was really it. Don't have a lot to say about this guy. He has a Wooden Railway Charlie face. So that's about all I can say, really. I said it before, I never actually intended to even have these guys in my stories if I ever get them off the ground. I never intended to have them. But I couldn't cancel them out of the books because the Reverend Audrey has them in it. So I figured, hey, I'll make these two. And this engine, I figured, hey, there's no real big tank engine. Sorry. I modified Arthur to make him a P4 so he'd be even bigger, but really that's it. There's no big tank engines. I've thought about making a 480 tank engine, but I don't know. So that's really it. These are my 3 troublesome engines. Like I said, I'll spoil it for you. Scrapped, preserved. And that's really it. They don't have names at all. I've never even named them. So, you know, I'm not a fan of Alfred. And that's it. That is truly it. Thank you for watching. And this is TR2000 signing off.